Judge Vanda Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1033, Shepherd case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Shepherd, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Yes, Your Honor. When last we met, had my 3 children with my wife.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, ma'am. The 12-year-old is now 13 and has come to live with me. So
Okay.
I'd like to see if there's any possibility of getting my child support reduced since she's with me now.
Okay, the cheerleader, right?
Yes.
Okay, I have a good memory sometimes. Where
better
is
off
your
than I.
ex-wife?
Where?
Yeah, she's not here.
I wish I could tell you. I thought she was going to be here.
I mean,
talked to her on the phone 2-3 days ago, and I thought she was good.
Dad returns to court, but Mom doesn't show buckle up because the Shepherd case is making headlines once again. And this time, it's all about child support. Dad's back in court asking for an adjustment after his 13-year-old daughter, a cheerleader, moved in with him. Seems simple enough, right? Not quite. If you've ever watched a support court unfold, you know there's always more than meets the eye. Here's where things take a turn. Mom didn't show up. Yep, she was properly notified, had recent contact with Dad, and even showed up to the last hearing. But today? Nothing. No call, no appearance, just silence. That gives the judge the green light to move forward without her. And skipping court, that's rarely a smart move. This just might tip the scales in Dad's favor. Dad came prepared, calm, respectful, and confident. He explained that his daughter made the move quietly, mid-school year, probably around December or January. No drama, no arguments, and notably, no pushback from Mom. That might be why she's not here. But Judge Vonda's not one to ignore red flags. She remembers how vocal Mom was during their last courtroom clash, so her sudden no-show definitely raises an eyebrow. Still, with no opposition in sight, the hearing rolls on, and Dad's cool-headed approach may be just what wins the day.
Well, I thought she was good to go too because it looks like she was given notice to be here.
Yes, ma'am.
And she came the last time.
Yes, Your Honor. She sure did.
Okay. So there isn't a dispute between you two of whether or not the child has been living with you, or how long has the child been living with you?
About, let's see, December, January, 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah, we made it the middle of the school year.
Okay. And is that something you guys agreed to do, or is that, did something happen and the child started living with you?
Roughly, we agreed to it over a little bit of time.
Okay. Well, I'm guessing that's why she didn't come, because she didn't have any opposition.
Judge Vonda takes a moment to look back on how things stood the last time these parents were in court. Back then, Dad was covering $53 a month for health insurance. But instead of calculating support strictly from his income, the court made an unusual move, factoring in the cost of private school tuition for the kids. That kind of flexibility isn't standard procedure, but it showed the judge was already trying to be fair given the family's unique setup. Now, with one of the kids living full-time with Dad, it's time to revisit the numbers. This isn't just some spur-of-the-moment request. It's tied to a real change in who's responsible for what, day to day. Then, the decision comes, and it's swift, sensible, and grounded in the facts. With custody shifting, Dad's monthly support drops from a steep $2,400 to just $1,098. That's a massive reduction of $1,300, and it reflects a basic truth. Expenses should go where the kids go. No arguments, no outbursts, just a clear ruling based on what's changed. And because Mom didn't show or challenge anything, the hearing moves along without roadblocks. In a courtroom where outcomes are often messy and unpredictable, this one stands out. A calm, fair resolution driven by evidence, not emotion. It's a quiet victory, but a meaningful one, proving that when life changes and you come to court ready, the system can adapt.
Well,
But
yeah, because she had a lot to say the last time we were here.
yes, ma'am. Surprise, surprise.
Okay. Well, this is what we can do. She's not here, so we can move forward with your case.
Okay.
From what I remember, And, okay, your health insurance documents, you pay $503.
503, yes, ma'am.
For the health insurance,
Yes,
okay.
Your Honor.
And I remember what we did was, instead of making you pay child support based on what your income was, we set it at the amount of the price of tuition for all 3
Tuition,
kids.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you still have the obligation of the other 2 children, obviously,
Yes, Your Honor.
but we're going to give you credit for one of the children living with you. So slightly coming off that $2,400 amount, your child support will go down to $1,098.
I'm sorry.
$1,098.
$1,098?
$1,098, yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Okay. So, do you have any other questions?
Before closing the book on the case, Judge Vonda pauses for a final check-in. Any questions? She asks Dad. Not a one. He's confident, calm, and clearly prepared. A totally different energy from the last time they were here. The judge even points out that the court had already leaned in his favor before, bending the typical guidelines to account for private school costs. But now, with official paperwork and a meaningful shift in custody, the court's fairness isn't just a courtesy, it's the law in action. What stands out? Mr. Shepard didn't stir the pot. He didn't throw shade at Mom or try to game the system. He stuck to the facts, brought the receipts, and let the process work, and it did. Now Judge Vonda turns to the viewers with the key takeaway. When a child comes to live with you full-time, you have the right to ask for a child support modification. No sneaky tactics, no courtroom theatrics. Just a legal adjustment based on who's actually caring for the child. And a word of warning, if you're served and don't show up, the court will move forward without you. That's exactly what happened to Mom. By sitting this one out, she lost her say, and it cost her. Dad, on the other hand, came in ready and walked out with a $2,300 monthly reduction. That's not just a win. That's justice done right.
I don't think I better.
Okay. Yeah, because last time we deviated and it was a lot lower than what it should have been.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. If there's nothing further, you're dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. I want to go over what you all witnessed in the Shepard case. So Mr. Shepard was reappearing on the show to request a modification. Well, what were some interesting things you noticed about that case? Well, for one of his children began living with him. So in the event that something like that occurs, you definitely qualify for a modification in your child support amount. Something else that was interesting, you all may have heard from the previous episodes, whenever you're properly served to appear in court and you fail to appear, the court can still proceed with whatever the
Judge Vonda leaves us with one more powerful reminder. Proper legal service matters. Mom was officially notified about the hearing. No question about it. But she chose not to show. And in the courtroom, that decision has consequences. The legal system doesn't stall just because one party doesn't show up. Dad came prepared. He asked for a child support reduction, backed it up with real evidence, and got a fair ruling in his favor. Not because Mom was being punished, but because due process was followed. In court, if you don't speak up for yourself, the judge won't guess your side of the story. That's just how the law works. The new support amount, $1,098 per month, isn't just fair, it's legally solid. Nothing flashy, no courtroom fireworks, just a steady, responsible parent doing things the right way. Mr. Shepard's case made something clear. When you take care of your responsibilities, show up, and follow the legal path, the system can deliver fairness. With his daughter now living with him, it only made sense for support to be updated to reflect that reality. No tricks, no drama, just facts, follow-through, and fairness. The takeaway: if there's a major change in custody or finances, don't wait around. File to modify your support through the proper channels, because skipping the process, like Mom did, can cost you more than just money. It can cost you your say.